Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Pusher Show. Tonight I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This movie is a bright spark in what has been a very dull stream of movies put out by Disney in the MCU. It is fantastic and in no short order thanks to an impeccable cast and amazing direction by James Gunn. While the last two movies seem to focus mainly on the Guardians and Peter Quill, this one revolves primarily around Rocket Raccoon, voiced fantastically by Bradley Cooper. With this, you kind of realize why Rocket is so aggressive and so closed off and so angry. And when you see why, you can't really blame him. He was tortured and victimized horribly by a character known as the High Evolutionary, a megalomaniac who wants and seeks absolute perfection. The High Evolutionary himself is played by Nigerian actor Kubuji Wuji, who has worked with Gunn before on the Peacemaker series in the role of Myrn, and he is fantastic. He is so detestable and hateable, and there's something almost Joseph Mengele about him. He, in his struggle for perfection, has lost any speck of humanity or empathy. He will experiment on small animals, large animals, and even children, and he is the perfect foil for the Guardians, and what I consider to be one of the better MCU villains in a long while. Another new great addition to the cast is Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. If I was to describe this character, imagine Superman, fully grown Superman, with the intellect and mood of a 7-year-old boy. Poulter does an amazing job making Adam Warlock very dumb, goofy, and naive, but also, despite being a foe to the Guardians, he's incredibly likable, and that's no surprise because if you've seen anything that Poulter is in, he is a fantastic comedic actor. One role in particular I will always remember him from is some Son of Rambo. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Even at a super young age, he had fantastic comedic timing, and this works for him so well in this movie. The rest of the cast are great as well. You have obviously Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, and they explore a bit more of his kind of personality and his duality and why he hasn't returned to Earth, and I think that's interesting. And also the complexity of Gamora, Zoe Saldana's character, coming back and it being a Gamora from a different timeline. So she hasn't the same kind of affectionate feelings for Peter as the prior Gamora, and that causes a bit of friction. Also, Nebula, Karen Gillian's Nebula, is great in this. You get to see a softer side to the character, and it's pretty cool because between the Guardians movies and the Infinity War movies, you actually see a really good, interesting arc with the character of Nebula, and it comes to fruition in this movie. Dave Bautista is killing it as Drax in this movie, but then again, that's no surprise. He kicked arse in the prior two movies. The good thing is they've kind of toned down his goofiness for this movie because this is a lot more darker than the prior Guardians movies, and I think if you had Drax being the dumb lovable goofball every 20 minutes, it would hobble the movie. I think Gunn has the wherewithal to realize that something like that would really kind of not benefit the movie, whereas in, say, the likes of Thor Ragnarok, where there was a joke every 10 minutes, that really detracted from the seriousness of the plot. They don't do that with Drax, which I was very grateful for. Tom Clancy's character of Mantis is another who got their time to shine in this movie, and I really came to appreciate this character after watching the Guardians Holiday Special, because like Dave Bautista, she has fantastic comedic timing, and the two of them are absolutely adorable as a comedic duo. I don't have any major criticisms to cite for this movie. If anything, it's a fairly solid MCU movie. As I said before, it's probably the best we've had in a long while. It's certainly the darkest. It's the darkest of the three Guardians movies, and probably one of the darkest MCU movies. And that may be where its Achilles heel lies. I do realize that MCU movies, Marvel movies, are made for a wide range of audiences, not just kids. But I do think younger kids may find some of the subject matter a bit too heavy in this, particularly with Rocket's origins. And if you are someone who can't deal with animal abuse, you may have to take a couple of bathroom breaks for this flick. With all that said, it's still a beautiful swan song for James Gunn in the MCU. Hopefully he'll be able to bring some of his magic to the DCEU. And yeah, hopefully this won't hobble the MCU even more, having lost such a great creator. But guys, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.